So, guys, thanks for coming along.
It's alright, man.
Allow me to interview you and ask you a few questions. I probably should have put them in order of what I'm going to ask you to make things a lot easier. But yeah, firstly, I guess, why the name Wet Laces?
Why the name Wet Laces? It was just something that just came to me one time. When my mate was just walking along the road, he had his laces undone. He walked into a puddle, and I just said, "Mate, you got wet laces," and I thought that sounds like a good band name. And I told Ollie, he didn't really object to it.
When we started the band, Colin mentioned that, and I was like, "Yeah, sounds quite good."
Just go for it. It's something I don't know. I like it. It's simple and catchy.
I remember you telling me catchy. Obviously, you guys have just released was it an EP release?
It was just a single.
Oh, it was just
yeah.
I mean, you had a single a week, and then you had a few weeks before that the EP.
Oh no, it's just a single and a B-side, and then we've just released a video for it as well. Video's coming out today, actually.
Yeah, I saw it on somewhere at Roxy Field.
Yeah.
It was pretty good actually. So with following the single, what can we expect from you? What's in the pipeline? Any more stuff?
We've we just had a meeting today. Actually, we're in some talks about a few things that we could be doing, kind of after August. After kind of the festival season and everything, we've got some tracks recorded actually. Got 4 tracks recorded, and just heard the kind of early mixes of them, and they're sounding pretty cool. So hopefully they'll be coming out kind of around the start of the next uni term, or possibly not until 2017, but I'm not sure yet. We've also got a live session we just did as well, and that was sounding really cool. So that'll be coming out.
Yeah, obviously you said you've got 4 singles out. Is there anywhere that people can listen to your music if they want to find it online?
Yeah, it's on Bandcamp, and it's also on SoundCloud. You can download it for £1 from Bandcamp. Mm-hmm. And as of today, the music video is going to be on YouTube as well. So go check that out because that's awesome.
On YouTube, you can find some of our live performances and things like that as well. And there's jamming in the practice room.
Yeah. Sweet. It's actually a video for our first ever practice on YouTube.
You guys got a Twitter page or?
Yeah, we've got Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all of that.
I'm sure I've got you on Facebook, but I don't think you guys on Twitter. But I'll be sure to do that afterwards. What do you guys plan to be doing in 5 years' time? With Wet Laces?
Hope to be a touring band.
It's a really difficult question, isn't it? Yeah, I'd like
to be a touring band.
I'd like to be, a touring band, possibly signed to an independent label, just kind of have something that's sustainable, something we can actually make a living out of.
Yeah.
Sounds good. And how did you two, don't say uni by the way, but how did you two meet? Obviously you met at uni. What are you, I don't know if you guys are on the same course or if that's
Yeah, we're on the same course, and our lecturer, Jamie Osman, he's the manager of Lower Than Atlantis, and he asked both of us if we wanted to go to their album launch. So the first time we ever actually properly met is when we went out to their album launch.
Met at the train station, didn't we?
Yeah, met at the train station. Had a couple of drinks in London, and then just got to know each other from there, pretty much.
What are your views on people? I mean, obviously you don't have too much out at the minute, but what would be your views on people illegally downloading your music? Obviously, I wouldn't imagine you're in favour of it, but at the end of the day, people are still listening. What do you sort of feel about that?
That's a good question.
That's a good question. I'd say if they're downloading it illegally and still listening to it, I don't know about you. I'm kind of happy that they're still listening to our music.
Yeah, the thing is, they're still going to the effort of actually downloading it. It's just it's illegal. The thing is, most musicians make their music from tours now, from shows, from selling merchandise and stuff. So if people were to do that, as long as they came along to a show, as long as they bought a T-shirt, you're still getting that money.
That's actually a really good point, because I wasn't actually going to ask this, but you've just kind of reminded me that bringing the ticket touts, one thing, some of my pet hate is ticket touts. What would be how would you feel if you were doing shows and people doing that? What are your views on ticket touts?
I hate it. I really hate it.
I don't like
the amount of times I've tried to get tickets for a show and it's sold out straight away. Yeah. And then you look online and they're going for sometimes over double the price. I just think it's ridiculous. Yeah. But
it's like that would Bring Me, wasn't it?
We went to Bring Me the Horizon and we had to buy tickets for, I think we paid 70 quid or something.
Yeah.
I mean, there are artists fighting against it at the minute. I think Mumford & Sons.
Yeah, I saw a petition online, because I just signed it.
But do you think it can actually be because I think it's one of those things that's really hard to sort of stop. Do you think there's any way it can be stopped?
I went to an Iron Maiden show a couple of years back, and they did this thing where there was no ticket. You had to just show your credit card. So it's the credit card of the person who bought the ticket, and you needed like your ID as well. So every single person there was someone who'd actually bought a ticket, and like wanting to go, not having to buy it off a tout or anything like that. And yeah, because there was no way of reselling the tickets. So there are things you can do like that. The only thing is then you lose like the novelty factor of having a ticket to keep past the show and stuff like that.
Dice actually. I use Dice. I get most of my tickets from there, and it's just like no booking fee. You buy your ticket just like that, and it's just a what's the name? Barcode on your phone, and then they just scan that. The only problem is, like, say if you decide you can't go and you genuinely want to sell it on to someone, first of all, who writes the songs out of you two? And what are the topics of the songs? Like, what influences your decision to?
It's a bit of both, to be honest, writing the songs. Like, up until recently, I guess it was mainly I'd write stuff in my room and then I'd come into the practice room and just show Ollie.
You had a lot of stuff before, didn't you? That you brought to the table that you'd already had. But yeah, like I was saying, very recently, you know, we've been writing lyrics together in our own time.
Yeah, we've been writing rhythms and stuff like together. It's kind of, I feel it's improved our songwriting because now we're like two heads better than one, and we're like working together to make.
You've kind of just like answered my next question.
I remember when we were at the SU as well. Like, it seems mad, but a little bit drunk as you are, and then I just came out with this like little bit for one of our songs, just like mouth kind of the guitar, and then we just recorded it on the phone actually, and then took it to practice and actually put it into a song, so it worked.
It's always fun to look back on your old songs, especially like when you're way older. I used to write songs when I was like 10, and they'd be ridiculous to look at about stuff at school. So it's always fun just to keep
watch videos of me drumming when I was younger.
Okay, how would you guys actually describe yourself as a band, like genre-wise? Like, who would you say? Yeah, firstly, how would you describe yourself? Also, who would you say your influences are? Like, whose influence or style that you sort of got?
Right, genre, I guess. We always say alt rock.
Alt rock, but there's definitely a grunge vibe in there as well.
Everyone always comes up to us after gigs and they're like, it reminded me of Nirvana, like had that kind of vibe. So definitely has a grunge vibe too. And I think right now there's a lot of bands who are kind of, I don't know, who have that grunge element to them. Like at the SG the other week, we one of the bands played with Coloured In, very grungy. Then there's like Milk Teeth who've released their debut album. They've got grunge elements. I think grunge is kind of making a comeback, you know.
Yeah, because I sort of watched you guys and I saw like a bit of I guess not right away. Royal Blood as well. Like
we're definitely like it's the obvious one because we're a two-piece. It's just
that's probably it actually.
Yeah, I can't deny that we have been very influenced by them. Another band is Drenge as well. They really influenced my songwriting.
Would you say you're influenced by any artists of different genres at all? I mean, like
I am definitely. Well, my drumming that I play in the songs, all because it sounds like it's rocky and grungy. Some of the beats I'm playing are beats that have been influenced by like R&B. You know, like there's a guy called Jeezy at the moment. You know, I've been playing to a lot of his stuff, and you know, some of the beats from that I actually put into the Lascelles stuff, but no one would ever know about that. But definitely influences coming from everywhere. Really.
No, I always like that because I always find with like a lot of bands you find, or artists, whatever, of all sorts of genres. Like you'll find, I don't know, for example, a rock band might have been inspired or influenced by, you know, someone like Prince or someone from a completely different genre, like Michael Jackson.
Exactly.
Or you'll find, you know, even hip hop artists will say, you know, they find themselves influenced by, I don't know, any sort of rock band.
Jazz artist.
It's always interesting to see what sort of music people listen to.
That's what's good about being in a band as well, because you can bring to the table what you've been influenced in, you know, and they might not have been influenced by it, but it all comes together. That's what I think with our music. We're both both into the same stuff, but we're also both into different things.
Like you were into like pop punk, you know. I was into indie. I feel kind of made this weird pop punk indie hybrid as well.
Definitely.
And, it's like anyone that knows me will know that my favourite band is Haim. As you can see, back of my phone case.
I love Haim, man.
I'm a massive fan. But it was so surprising to find out that they were influenced by, because they're quite like, you know, indie pop, like I guess even a bit of rock you could say, but I was really surprised when I found out that some of their biggest influences like Prince, Beyonce, even Kanye West. Like you wouldn't think it would. Yeah, how long have you guys been playing? Do you play any other instruments? Both of you. How long have you been playing instruments for? And also, like, it's a bit of a weird question, but do you have like specific loyalty to a certain brand when it comes to instruments? Like, is there a certain, you know, like guitar you won't buy or you will buy just based on, you know, brand loyalty?
Yeah, I've been playing guitar since I was 11. So yeah, just 9 years now. I played drums for a bit as well, actually. I kind of just got bored of guitar, started learning drums, and then I got a bit bored of that, went back to guitar. I mean, I'm not great at drums, I'm nowhere on Ollie's level, but I can keep a beat. Like, you know what the Beatles, famous Beatles.
Oh yeah,
he's not even the best drummer in the Beatles.
Not even the best drummer in the band, yeah.
But my guitar brand is Fender, but I've only just started using Fenders. Before, I always liked kind of Les Paul shapes, so like Gibson kind of guitar. But recently I've just changed to Fender, and to be honest, now I've got a Fender, I don't know if I would go back to using another guitar, because I really feel comfortable playing it, especially on stage. I've got a Mustang, it's a nice small guitar, so I feel like I can move about with ease. So, I don't know, you kind of do get that loyalty when you start using like a product that you really like.
It's like me with Gretsch. Like, for the past year I've had my Gretsch kit, which I just fell in love with straight when I got it. Also cymbals as well, like my Zildjian Ks, when I got them. I mean, they're definitely a more expensive cymbal, but you can hear the sound difference. I mean, I've been playing for about 5-6 years, and I've only ever had about like 2 lessons. I'm like completely self-taught off YouTube. Yeah, but I do want to develop actual, the actual like grades and stuff, just to.
So one of the things I wanted to ask you guys was, being in a 2-piece, do you find that there's any limitations at all?
I wouldn't say there are too many, to be honest. As far as like the sound, what I've started doing now is hooking up my guitar to a bass amp and a guitar amp, which means it sounds just as big. And even when I was just using the guitar amp live with all our gigs, no one has ever came up to us and said that it doesn't sound big enough. Yeah. It always has sounded big. I think it's just because how hard Ollie plays drums, how loud I just crank up the amp, like you can get away with it. I'd say the only limitations it kind of gives us is in the writing, because a lot of the time when you're writing and there's 2 guitars and a bass, you can do a lead line, you can do some chords, you can have like a bass part, but I've kind of got to do all of that on one guitar. So what I've kind of started doing is, it's just really pushed me as a musician, because I've started using different chords and finding new ways that I can kind of play a melody whilst keeping rhythm at the same time. So it's kind of, if anything, pushed me as a musician, which I really enjoy. And being in the 2-piece, like writing for it, I'm actually having so much fun just trying to come up with new ways that I can make it fresh and original.
Totally agree with you. Like, as far as I'm concerned, like, obviously being in bands before, I feel like I'm being heard a lot more now, because it's just me and Colin. So if I've got ideas, because as a drummer, you kind of, you're not coming up with the guitar lines or anything like that. So if you're in a bigger band, you're not really heard as much. But in this, because it's just the both of us, we're both just putting our ideas in, and it's making us better musicians, I think, to be honest, and actually making us more like passionate about our instruments. Ever since playing with you, Colin, I've wanted to get so much more better at my instrument. I've always wanted to get better, but it's just a big push, isn't it, really?
Yeah, definitely.
I've got a couple of less serious questions now. They're fairly simple. Just pretty basic. So first one on here is, who are your favourite artists?
So up there for me is like, it's got to be Nirvana. I mean, I know I've mentioned them before. People will compare us to them, but like, I just love Kurt Cobain's songwriting. I love Dave Grohl's drumming. I just love Nirvana. They're one of my favourite bands. But then I'm also really into indie as well. I had this massive stage where pretty much all I listened to was Arctic Monkeys. And there's a load of great indie bands we even listen to at the moment, actually.
Like Jaws.
There's Jaws, there's Peace,
really good.
Swim Deep.
Yeah.
All these bands that we've kind of been listening to.
Basement.
Then there's kind of like the kind of, I don't know.
They've got more of our sound, I think.
An emo kind of grungy kind of sound that definitely listen to a lot of as well. And then you're into Jeezy and stuff.
Well, I've been into a lot of like R&B and stuff growing up. But as far as band-wise, like 21 Pilots at the moment, I really like them.
Yeah, they're quite. There's quite a buzz around them, isn't there?
There is, yeah. They're huge at the moment, but the whole idea, well, they're a two-piece as well.
Yeah.
They've got music playing in the background whilst they play, haven't they?
Don't
Which
know.
obviously
They're
they've
not
come
real
up with,
TVs.
but
I think they're even they're at Reading this year, aren't they?
they are at Reading, yeah, on the enemy stage, I believe. But yeah, like bands like Yumi at 6, Lower Than Atlantis, Raw Blood, obviously. Bands like that I've been really influenced by as well.
Would you guys say you've got any favourite artists that people wouldn't expect from you? Like, I'm not expecting you to throw Spice Girls at me or whatever, but
I'd say for me, Gregory Porter.
oh no way.
Jazz, obviously jazz musician. Literally, I think he's great. I don't think people would expect me to listen to that, but yeah, that's my dad's.
Yeah, that surprised me as well.
Yeah, because I showed you
say that.
Yeah.
What about yourself?
I don't really know. It's pretty much standard.
Spice Girls,
for me,
isn't
innit? Yeah, like got all the old Bieber stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bieber, really like Bieber's new stuff. To be honest, I respect.
Yeah, but
it.
everyone likes Bieber's new
I like
stuff.
drumming to Bieber's stuff. Stuff.
If you guys could pick 3 ideal headliners for a festival, who would they be?
We still have time to think, and I'm still keep changing my mind.
Yeah.
Still keep changing it. One of the best festival headliners I've seen were Queens of Stone Age at Reading, and I think I'd put them up there. They just had a really good performance. Biffy,
yeah.
gonna see him at Reading this year. I'd like to see Biffy.
Yeah.
Again. I don't know, man. I'm wanting to say Green Day. Green Day, one of the first live bands I saw, and they put on such an amazing show. So possibly, but then I don't know. They've kind of had their time now, haven't they?
Yeah, that's the thing. I think Brocco, mate. There'd be an option, Don Brocco. Like I don't know, just because.
You said Bring Me, didn't you? You said Bring Me.
Yeah, and Bring Me as well. Bring Me the Horizon would be an option.
Yeah, there are some new bands actually. We should say really, cause
yeah, that's what I was
I
thinking.
mean,
like, when I
all
said Brocco,
Reading seems to do at the moment is it seems to be recycling bands that they've used before. Like Chili's have done it before, Biffy have done it before.
Green Day have done it before.
I mean, Disclosure and Foals, like the new ones, I guess.
I like that.
Yeah.
But like, I think it's time that there are some like British bands that kind of to step up.
Yeah,
I think like there are bands that could do it. Bring Me the Horizon on the verge of it.
Yeah.
Unit 6, I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah.
I think Wolf Alice will do it one day.
Yeah.
They've got really big on their first album.
Debate about that, wasn't it? Like, I think it was with Glastonbury. They're saying, are they not running out of acts because all the sort of biggest international artists or even UK artists have sort of been to Glastonbury, majority of them anyway. Do you think they're sort of running out, or do you think there is enough talent at the minute for, say, Glastonbury headliners?
I think there's enough talent. I just think someone needs to give them a chance.
Yeah.
Like you could say all you want that these bands aren't festival headliners, but you don't know until you've actually given them the chance to headline a festival.
Exactly.
Like Arctic Monkeys, they headlined Glastonbury after like their second album or something. They were still really young, and then they proved themselves. If people gave bands that opportunity, then you'd find out. Like Foles being given that opportunity now at Reading, so then this could lead to bigger things for them.
No,
it's better for the non-well-known bands as well, because obviously if you're a headliner, there's such a big build-up for that band. Yeah. So if you make that build-up for a band, they could just blow you out the water, and you could be like, yeah, they're actually really good.
It's actually really similar to my previous question. I'm going to go ahead and ask it anyway, because it's a difference. If you could see any act, dead or alive, who would you pick?
Nirvana or David Bowie?
I'd have to say Nirvana or the Police.
Oh mate, the Police would be quality, wouldn't they?
The Police, I'd love to see the Police.
If they ever get back together, we're going.
I'd love to see Stuart Copeland, man.
What would you guys say is your favourite album ever?
Favourite album of all time?
Yeah. I mean, it can be recent, but
I'd say Sempiternal by Bring Me the Horizon. I think that's one of my favourite albums. Yeah, since because we were talking about it before. It is.
Whilst the camera wasn't rolling, we had a brief chat about Bring Me the Horizon.
Does everyone know?
I don't know, man. My favourite album of all time. It's really difficult because I literally have a favourite album, like a new favourite album every month. You know, an album that kind of that I listen to a lot. Not recently, kind of a couple of years ago was "Suck It and See" by Arctic Monkeys. Got really into that album, and like a lot of people prefer their early stuff.
Yeah.
But this was their fourth album, and I thought I really enjoyed it. I really liked it. I don't know. What else do I really like? Favorite album of all time. Do you know what? Foo Fighters' Wasting Light. That album, listened to it pretty much non-stop for like a year. Really loved that album. And there's quite a few albums like that I've got so into that just you can't stop listening to it. But if I had to pick one favourite album of all time, it probably would be Foo Fighters' Wasting Light, you know. Done it.
Got there in the end.
Got there in the end.
One last question to ask you guys would be, tell us something interesting, tell us something about yourselves. A fun or random fact about you guys.
About both of us?
Yeah, about it. Could be about Wet Laces or about like, both of you individually.
So what ones can we repeat?
I know, yeah, that's the thing though. What can we repeat? So, we've got our own kind of little language, haven't we, Cole?
Yeah, that's the interesting fact about Ollie is that the more you hang out with him, the more you just start speaking like him, and everything Ollie says is just complete bullshit, really. Just making up words and stuff. Yeah. So yeah, that's an interesting fact about us. Is like we'll be at home just making up words and talking complete crap. So
like you're talking to someone, I don't know, like not from this country, definitely. From different planet.
Like someone could just listen to us and have a clue what we're talking about for like a 5-minute conversation.
Definitely.
Right,
yeah, that's our interesting fact.
That's our interesting fact.
Right, well, we'll start to wrap things up, but you did mention earlier on in the interview, obviously people can find your music. Can you repeat this one more time, like, so anyone who's listening at the end where they can find your music, where they can find your social media pages, all that sort of stuff?
Yeah, Wet Laces, we're on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, just search Wet Laces. Music.
Video coming out on YouTube.
Video coming out on YouTube.
What date?
Yeah.
The date is today. So it's 26th.
Well, I mean, this probably isn't.
It's not going to come out today.
So
is
there anything else
already out
that you can promote?
Nothing else coming out. No, not in the foreseeable future. We've got the single already out. That's on Bandcamp and that's on SoundCloud. So check that out.
Really good question as well. You put any of that stuff on Spotify or iTunes?
I don't know. Hopefully, in the long run, we'd look to do it.
In the long run, we will do it.
Yeah. Especially if a 4-track EP comes out, then I think that'll definitely be on iTunes and Spotify. But
just got to keep writing at the minute, haven't we?
Yeah. It's gonna keep.
Sounds good. Well, thank you for coming along. It's been great speaking with you guys. Thanks to Simon for filming all of this.
Cheers, man.
Yeah, I'll get this up on my blog as soon as I can.
Sweet.
Cheers, Kieran. Thanks, buddy.